How do you like me now? It's been a while since I did a video in this series, but someone suggested a pen to me that I should enter here, and as soon as I read it, I thought, yes, that does make a lot of sense. This was one of the first nicer pens I got, and also one of my earliest reviews, actually. So I've definitely had this one in my possession for a while, and I thought it would be good to talk about it today, and that is the original Omas 360. I was at a pen show, my first ever pen show, and I met up with a German friend who was also into pens. Obviously, otherwise he wouldn't be at the pen show. And he brought a lot of his pens, and he said you should try them out. And he gave me this one, and I said, that's triangular. That can never be pleasant to write with. And he said, yeah, you wait and see. It is amazing. And unfortunately, the modern model of this pen, I think, is a lot less nice than the original model, which is not even that vintage. But if you search on eBay and stuff, you will find this older model. Now, there were limited editions of this, a red one, a sort of turquoise one. They've now also made a small gray demonstrator, I think, but this is the original Omas 360. Okay, how does this work? What's so fancy about this pen? Well, what's so fancy about it is this shape. You see that? That's triangular. It's also a big pen. This is a little over 6 inches capped, which is pretty big actually. So expect a lot of pen. The triangular bit, the nice thing about revisiting this pen is that when I did the first review I couldn't focus my webcam up close. I had another webcam. It's a very nice nib by Omas. This is the 18K fine. You have that nice meander shape on the section, and that returns in the cap. Same thing. It very subtly says Omas Italy on the cap, and I absolutely love that. Now you may think a triangular shape, is that even comfortable to hold? Well, yes. Think about it. When you hold your fingers together like this, the little shape you see is actually a triangle. So you rest your middle finger there, index finger and thumb there, and it's super comfortable. It's also a very light pen, and that's really cool. So do I still like it? Has my opinion of it changed? No, I still love it. I think it's a great pen. It's a big pen. It's light. It's a piston filler, so it holds a decent amount of ink. It's a joy to write with. A super soft, sweet nib. Offers a little bit of line variation, but it's mainly smooth, super smooth to use, and that I think is very cool. So I really love that. I love the looks of the pen. It's not really a black, but a super deep blue. I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but that's what it is. So a very nice pen. Okay, I also love the clip design, that nice little sort of ski slope thing going on there, but that makes it very easy to use. So that's great too. So great filling system, nib. Overall looks are magnificent. Things I don't like about it that I found during use. Well, yes, there are two things that I don't like so much about this model. First of all, it's big, and that means that if you have a standard pen pouch, whoops, sorry, as I have here, let's make a little bit of space in that pouch. This is a Van der Spek pouch, 4 pens, and there are some, I mean, this is a pretty beefy pen, you know, it's in there, and that's fine, but when you put this in, look at how big that is, and then when you try to close it, it barely closes, and that is my one issue with this pen. I love oversized pens, and I love that it's so big because it's really comfortable for me to write with. You don't even have to post it, because when you post it, it turns into a ridiculous item. So that's very pleasant. However, because it's so big, it's a little hard to transport in standard pen pouches. It did come with its own pouch, basically just a sleeve, but I always carry this, so I want to be able to put my pens in this. Second thing I will say that is a little bit less optimal in this pen, at least for me, is that it's hard to take apart. You need a special wrench that you sort of, with 2 teeth, that sort of fits into the section part. You can see that. You can probably also see that a bit of damage was done there when I was trying to open it up There are two little grooves on the side that you would put next to the nib, and then you unscrew the whole thing. That makes it very difficult to open up if you don't have such a wrench. And also, I mean, you can, in principle, I have found, at least on my pen, so be careful, pull out the nib and feed, but that was extremely difficult the first time I did it. And be aware, that's an ebonite feed, and they will break and they will warp. So I had to heat set it after I did that. And the problem is, being a piston filler, cleaning can be difficult if you can't disassemble the pen, or at least remove the nib and feed so that you can flush it out through the section, the front of the section. That's a bit of an issue. The other issue I had was that mine was old, it had not been in use for a while, and the piston had become very tough to operate. And of course you don't want to force it and break it, so I really had to open it up. That's why I pulled the nib and feed, put a little bit of silicone grease on there, and now I have to be a little careful because it's inked up, but now this is super smooth. So it can be done, it's just a bit more difficult. Having said that, I think it's a great pen, and now what I would very much like to do is show you how it writes. So that's what I'm going to do next. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so the Omas 360. A little bit of writing. One thing that is really nice about this pen is the smoothness. It's an 18K fine. The ink is Waterman, Florida, and as you can probably hear, if you compare this to this in sound, then you probably understand what I mean. Very smooth, very pleasant. It definitely makes the quick brown fox want to jump over the lazy dog, and especially for a fine nib it is really smooth and really pleasant to use. So that is one of the reasons I like this pen so much. But another important reason is that odd, gently rounded off triangular grip section, because it'll just hold thumb, index finger and middle finger in a completely comfortable, pleasant way, and I think it really is a great pen. So even though I don't find myself inking it up a whole lot because of the cleaning as well as the size that makes it hard to carry, I absolutely love it. And if you have a chance to pick one of these up at a decent price, don't skip, because I'm sure you're going to love this pen. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.